Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. In this video, we're going to be doing chapter 13, verse 14. And Bhagwan Shri Krishna is continuing to talk about Brahman. And okay, so let's do a prayer and then sing the verse together. And afterwards, I'm going to be talking a little bit about, I'm forgetting the name of the Prabhu. I just started listening to him. The Romapada Maharaj said that he listened to one of his, there was a retreat that happened in Gita Nagari in May or something. And I'm not sure, Radhika Raman Prabhu, something like that. And his talk, Romapada Maharaj, who's like a very, very senior initiating guru, he listened to it 5 times. There were 2 sections to it: how to talk to Krishna, how to pray to Krishna. I love this topic. I've been wondering about it. Like, what do I do? What is the right mode to pray? And this just feels like, Krishna center. He knows, he keeps answering. Whatever questions we have, he keeps answering. Whatever questions I have, he keeps answering. Whatever questions we have, he will answer. He keeps answering. I'm sure he keeps answering. I'm sure you've experienced that too. Absolutely amazing, stunning. So I've heard about the first 20 minutes. So I'll talk a little bit very briefly about that at the end of this. Okay, so let's do our prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dear Krishna, please help us understand this verse. You're explaining about Brahman. Please help us understand this verse so that we understand what your energies, Brahman energy, is like, and so that we can actually understand you as a person as well and become really good devotees. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to read the previous one just because, just the translation. Oh, I need to share screen. Okay, I shall now explain the knowable, knowing which you will taste the eternal. Brahman, the spirit beginningless and subordinate to me, Brahman is subordinate to him, lies beyond the cause and effect of this material world. Okay, so now he's continuing to talk about that. He's saying everywhere are his hands and legs, his eyes, heads and faces, and he has ears everywhere. In this way, the supersoul exists, pervading everything. So, Brahman is like sunshine, right? Bhagwan Shri Krishna is like the sun, and Brahman is like the all-pervading sunshine. So the sun diffuses its rays, so does the supersoul, and there are unlimited heads, legs, hands, and eyes, and unlimited living entities. So he's saying obviously this individual soul cannot do that. So he's distinguishing between the individual soul and the supersoul. Because he's talking about Brahman, but he's saying that Brahman is different. The individual soul is different from the super soul. So what is really nice here is that he says the Lord can extend his hand without limit. So anyone who offers him in the, I think, chapter 9, flower, fruit, water, or whatever, he accepts, even though he's a far distance away. Because he has unlimited eyes, ears, legs, hands, whatever, all of that. So all pervading. And so what Swami Mukundanand here says is we should never fall into the trap of assuming that God cannot have eyes, ears, hands, whatever. And so he sees everything because his senses are everywhere. He hears everything, and he hears the prayers of his devotees. And he accepts food offerings made to him while he is anywhere in the universe. So when we offer bhoga to him, then it becomes prasad, and he accepts it. That's okay. That's it for this verse. Let me go back to. Okay, so that Prabhu, I can put the link here. I think I should put the link here of both the videos. I've only watched the first 20 minutes of the first one. And the second video apparently is the one Ramapada Maharaj watched 5 times. I was like, I really want to do that anyways, because this topic is extremely interesting to me, how to pray. And he's just talking from references from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so what he said is it's okay to pray. The first thing that just really hit me and that I love is that it's okay to pray for the material things as well. People keep saying, the visiting lecturers keep saying, do not pray for material things, but Dhruv prayed for material things, not just a little material thing. He didn't just want a little wealth. He wanted more wealth than Brahma. He wanted a bigger universe to manage or to create, whatever, own than Brahma. Brahma owns the entire, you want this one universe. He wanted, his ask was huge. And then he was saying, Bhagwan Shri Krishna will give you multiple things. He's like a father. A father knows what's good for the son. The son might cry and cry and cry for the toy, but a father might not give it, or might cry and cry, let's say, for a phone, and the father might say no. And then he might give the son, but the son knows that the father is doing it for the son, right? The son knows. So the father might say, I don't want you to get addicted, so let's instead go for a soccer camp. This was his example. So Krishna is like the father. He will give us what we need. So there are multiple things that he said. One is that he will give. He will, as long as we have the desire. We are. He is Hari, right? Hari means thief. So as long as we have the desire for something, he will not give it. And the moment that desire is gone, he will give it. It's like, okay, now you can have it. Like Dhruv Maharaj. I mean, he had this desire for this thing, but for the universe greater than Brahma, and he as soon as he saw Bhagwan Shri Krishna, he's like, I was looking for broken glass when I have the real diamond in front of me. I don't want anything. And then Bhagwan Shri Krishna gave it to him anyways, because he had no desire for it. So that is, so Krishna Bhagwan will take away our desires, which are not good for us. The second thing is he will give us what we need, not what we want. Like the kid example, he knows that the phone is going to be bad for us, so he will not give us the phone until we are ready for it. He'll say someday you will get it, but not right now, because it's not good for you. So it's basically he's like the father. You're trusting, absolute total trust that the father is going to do what's good for you, and he's going to give you what's good for you. And there was one more point. There were 3 points. I'm not remembering the third one. He'll give you what you need. He will take away the desire from you. And he will give you to the measure that you need it, to the extent that you need it in that moment. But basically, he's protecting you. For anything that he's doing, he's protecting you. And then he started talking about what is the most important thing in Bhagavatam is, when he was growing up, he was saying that the most important thing is the plot he wanted. So anytime there would be prayers, he'd be like, oh, there is prayers now, so we have to get through that to get to the plot, because he was eager to get to the plot. It's so sweet the way he explained it. I love it. But he realized that the prayers are the more important thing. So he gave this example of like him, Shukdev Goswami, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukdev Goswami speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. So he said to Parikshit Maharaj, you know the Ramayana story, so I'm going to go through it very, very quickly. So he went through like entire chapters in one verse kind of thing, but he would pause for the prayers. So the prayers, it shows that Shukdev Goswami considered the prayers extremely important, because the prayers help us understand Krishna better. We can understand Krishna better through his devotees and through his devotees' prayers. And how do the prayers begin? So he was like asking that question, and people were answering that they begin with the glorification of the Lord. And he's like, even before the glorification of the Lord, how do they begin? And the answer was Nama, obeisances. And he was just starting to talk. I didn't get into the full thing, but he was just starting to talk about how important obeisances are to Lord, and how Queen Kunti had prayers, and she was saying Namaha to like everything. Your eyes are like lotuses, your navel is like lotuses, your feet are like lotuses. Like that was a prayer, but obeisances to all of these. So yeah, obeisances is the most crucial thing. Oh, and then so another piece that I really want to talk about is the personality of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. This is something that's kind of resonating with me over time slowly. is that Krishna Bhagwan has a personality. And we also have a personality, and he can have loving exchanges with us with based on whatever personality we like, whatever part of it. But he has a core personality, the makhan chor, like stealing butter and all of that, the naughty, the chanchal in Hindi is, so he has a personality. He is a person. And this is something that I started reading in the Living Name, so it's becoming more real to me over time. But he is a person with a personality. So when we relate to him as a person and we think of him as a person, like until ISKCON, basically, I always used to just think of God as this nebulous nothingness, like basically the Brahman experience of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. I didn't understand, like it's I don't know how to explain this right now. It's going deeper, that he's actually a person. So I can relate to him as a person. I can relate to him as a human, like, I mean, as I would relate to a human being, of course, knowing that he's God and knowing that he's all pervading and all of that, knowing that I'm doing obeisances and everything. Right now we're in Dasya mode, and until we build that relationship with him where we are covered by Yog Maya instead of the Maya comes off and the Yog Maya comes on. And when the Yog Maya comes on, that's when we can start to see him as a person, but not the material way, the spiritual way. That's how Yashoda Maya and all of those Vrindavan people see him as a person, as a normal human being. They don't even know that he's God. Right now we're in Dasya mode, so we pray in the like, I am a servant and I'm your eternal servant. I want to serve you. Please engage me in your service. That's what the Maha Mantra means. My dear Radha, my dear Krishna, please engage me in your service. That's what Prabhupada says. So yeah, relating to him as a person, if we can do that as an amazing person, as the ultimate person. But if we can start to relate to him as a person and start to talk to him, I think this comes very easy to some people, but it's not as easy to me right now. So it's like it's like, whoa. I mean, I've heard this a million times, but it's like, whoa, okay. I mean, I can talk to him like a person. I can talk to him, relate to, like, think of him as a person, as a ultimate person, but yes, a person with a personality, with a this thing. And I can say that whatever I like in other people, he can give me a millionfold of that. Like whatever I want from somebody else, that he can give me. And in a much deeper way, the love that I'm craving, the love that I want, he has it for me. He has it for me. I matter. All of us matter. We matter. You matter. You are important to him. You are loved by him. You matter so much that he values you, he cherishes you, and he loves you like mad, like a person loving you. You can just imagine that a person is sitting next to you and loving you. That's how much he loves you. But way more than anything we can experience or imagine in the material world. How good is that? How wonderful is that? Okay, that's it for this video. We'll see you in the next video. Wish you a beautiful day filled with lots and lots of Krishna's grace. Radhe Radhe.